good afternoon, everybody. This is just a quick run through of the Select platform. I know this is something that a few people had been requesting. Either they're just not familiar with the platform at all, or they've been on it a few times and they're just not really sure of the user experience. So I think what I'll do first is run through the sign up process and the point of view of a new user and kind of process they have to go through. And then once we're finished, I'll log into the platform from our end so you can see how we upload deals and everything that we put up there. And then from a user point of view, everything that they see. So I'm going to share my screen and just go through kind of the sign up process at the moment. Um, Let me share this. This kind of gives just some information about the initial sign up process. So as soon as someone goes onto the site, they'll see something like this. Let me move that out of the way. They'll see sign up here and they can input their details. Once they do, they will see this. Thank you for your interest in joining Select. So this is really just registering their interest. This is not a sign up and they have immediate access to the platform. Reason for this is we want to have some visibility about who's joining, who's accessing the platform. So whether it be, a competitor or maybe it's someone who's been on the platform before and have had their access blocked, joining up through another email. That's not happened to my knowledge, but just giving examples, we just need to do a bit of due diligence so we can view who's joining. And for the most part, absolutely fine. We'll have a look, see who they are. We'll usually have their name, phone number, and email address. And then we'll just approve them. So once we approve, this is manual, so we do have to have a look at it first. So they'll receive this as soon as this is the email that we got. We'll see you have a new referral as soon as someone does the sign up process. And then this will be what they receive once we do the once we approve their referral and their sign up. So they'll get this. Then they'll get an email with some more information about how to sign up. So once they do this, join Deepridge Select, and then they'll create their account. So when they go into Join Deepridge Select, they'll be asked for more information. So just more contact details and a few more questions. Once they do that, they'll receive an email with this information here. Thank you for creating your account. And then the information about the FCA prescribed suitability check. The process at the moment is a little bit more convoluted than we'd like because they do need to kind of sign up / register their interest. They then need to receive an email from us saying that they've been approved and to set up their account. Once they set up their account, they need to go log back into the platform and go through the suitability checks. So once they do the suitability checks, I would actually prefer if they did the suitability checks while setting up their accounts. That's something I am in the process of having a look and seeing if that's what we can change. But right now they do the suitability check and then they'll get an email to say, if they've passed. So if they have passed, your account is set up. Did I have this here? When you next, yeah, so they get this email first saying, you need to complete your set of compliance questions. And then once that's complete, they'll actually get another email to say they passed or they failed and they have to do it again. As far as I know, they do get 3 tries to do it. And then they'll have to start the process again if they fail each time. So yeah, they'll get another email to say that they have passed, and then they get an email to say your account is set up. The FCA prescribed cooling off period starts from now. So once that happens, they just need to wait 24 hours. Then they'll get a notification to say that this period has ended and you have successfully, yeah, the cooling off period is now ended, and then they can log into the platform. So Like I said, it's kind of a lot of different steps in the process. Some we can't really do anything about or we don't want to. So we do need to still have due diligence and a visibility of who's joining the platform. We still need to have the FCA prescribed cooling off period. Once they do this part and they've passed the appropriateness test, their account is set up, and the cooling off period is ended, they then need to log in. So their account doesn't actually become active until they log into the account, which is not something we can change. We have asked for it. We've updated the wording so that this is now this will now instruct them to log in to activate their account. So to activate it, it just means they'll now receive our notifications and emails of new deals or new news added to the section of the website, those kind of things. So that is quite important. So yeah, I think the only thing that we can possibly change at the moment, I'm not even sure if we're allowed from a compliance point of view, it's just checking if that's possible first, but to ensure that if people set up their account, that they can do the suitability check there and then instead of setting it up and then going back and having to do the suitability check and then the 24-hour cooling off period and then logging in again. So you can see where from this process, we do kind of have people dropping off a little bit during the process. So it might be that they'll sign up, but then they don't complete the suitability process, or they do complete that process, but then they don't log in again. So they're stuck in that cooling off period. Like I said, we have changed that wording on that and we will follow up with them to make sure they know they have to log in and kind of we'll talk them through the process of the platform and where everything is, etc. needs be. So once they do that, then I'll just share my screen again to show you what they will see. So once they actually come into the platform, so once they've set up their account, they'll already have their username and their password, so their full login details, and they can just log in and they will see all of these details. So straight on the homepage, you've got your message, you've got your news, so you can click into view all news and see all the previous news. A little bit slower at the moment. So everything that we've put recently, we've got any upcoming events that we might have. This is all found here. You have explore deals, so you can actually go to the tab or you can just go straight to the homepage and scroll down and you'll see all the deals here. You've got my transactions, so any past transactions that they might have done, or any investments, you can see them here. Again, news and events you can access from here. Their documents, so that's anything that we will have shared with them through their transactions. Resources, very much similar to documents and news and events. So probably a section we don't really need, to be honest, because it's not really any different to the document section. But this is more curated by us. So if we want to share, for example, an article on tax efficient investments, we would probably put it in the news section. So it might be something that we look up and see if we can remove this. My portfolio. So this is slightly different to my transactions, and this gives kind of a more of an overview about all of their activity. Another thing that we can't do at the moment is they cannot go into one of their deals, and download documents. So if they wanted to go in here, download a document about Uplift, for example, they can't, there's nowhere to save it. They can only take a screenshot and save that page and then print it. It's unfortunately something that Delio can't change either. So at the moment, this really is just, it's a shop front. It's not an e-commerce site. You can't go into this deal, for example, if you wanted to have a look at this. If you want to invest, you can't just go in and put in your bank details straight on this site. It basically is a shop front of deals and has all the information about those deals. Now, the benefit of this is if someone is speaking to a person who might be interested in single company investments, we can't share any information. Once they've gone through the suitability process on Select, they'll see all the deals there. So really, if anyone is interested in single company promotions or investing in single companies, the best thing to do is to direct them towards Select. And because they've gone through the suitability process, excuse me, um, they can have a look at any of the deals they want. They can see all of the details, the financials, market competition, and obviously the risk warnings are down here as well. I don't know why that's not showing for me. I'll just try another deal. A little bit slow. Yes, you can see the risk warnings here and the key risks as well. So the risk warning for every deal is exactly the same, and the key risks are more the risks specific to that company. Um, so once we have all those, you can request an application form. Once you do this, the process of investment, this goes on to the investor relation team, and it's completely the same as if you were to just request an application form through the website. The process is exactly the same. This just gives you access to those, again, single company deals. You can also access the UK Innovation Seed Fund, TG and LS funds through here as well. And this one looks slightly different once it comes up. It's request information. So pretty much the same as request an application form, but we might just give them more information here. It's slightly different because this is a fund. We still won't give information about every single individual company. They're investing into the fund in this case, so they have the choice to invest in seed fund or to just go into a single company. So and that's pretty much it. You can save your deals as bookmark. You can look at new deals. You can look at closing soon deals. So that's all managed from our end of anything that we want to close for, a particular date. And that's it. So yeah, these are all the deals we have here at the moment. And obviously, our main priority is to ensure that we stop sharing that. Is to ensure that we update these deals as often as possible, because it just means that anyone on the Select platform will keep getting new emails and fresh content and can access the deals that we actually want to get investment in. They've already gone through the suitability process, and yeah, this is the easiest way to direct people there. So it's just a matter of getting the content together and ensuring we can do this as quickly as possible, really. So that's pretty much it. Again, this was just to go through the step-by-step process for anyone who's not really seen this platform, isn't very familiar with it, and might want to have a look at the steps from a user point of view. As I say, the step-by-step process is a little bit more convoluted than we would like. And we are constantly looking to improve the user experience there, but there are some aspects that we won't be able to change. And it's just a matter of ensuring that we are keeping contact with anyone who wants to sign up, and if they need any help, obviously we're here to support them. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So if anyone has any questions off the back of this, we'll be able to I'll come back to you on that. I've just seen Jamie's asked about details about the syndicate. So I'd say he's probably wondering, I think some people get mixed up between Select and the word syndicate. Syndicate is a group of private investors, and the Select is the platform to which we direct the private investors to. So yeah, platform, group of people. That does seem to come up a lot, with people a little bit confused about what the difference is. So that's the difference. The syndicate is not necessarily a group of people who are all on Select, because they haven't necessarily gone through that suitability check. But the goal is to ensure that everyone is in the syndicate list is on Select. So yeah, that's the process. If you do have any questions, you can email us, you can email me directly. And if you want to go through any of the steps again, I will be more than happy to do so. So I think that's it. Okay, thanks for your time. Take care. Bye.